Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So you see these headlines. This has kind of been floating around. Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mom, has like a new book, and they've been promoting the book on the tour, blah, 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 blah. And so in the book, okay, you know that she was married to Richard Lawson. Now, Richard Lawson has been an actor for a very, very long time, very successful in his acting career, things of that nature. You don't ever hear nothing he's unproblematic, basically, is what I'm trying to get to. He just he do his work, he live his life, whatever that is. And then, it is what it is. So a few years ago, he ends up marrying Tina Knowles. And then about a year ago or something like that, they got divorced. I think they've been divorced like a year, maybe a little more. I'm not exactly sure. So now she writes this book. Now she's 71 as of now, right? So she writes this little book, and in a part of it, she actually says that she chose to divorce him after waking up one day with the realization that she deserved so much more. Ma'am. Usually the women who grew up very attractive, women who were super attractive, not mildly attractive, but like really attractive. Because I've seen some young pictures of Tina, and she was fine. Tina was fine because she's pretty now, right? To be an older lady, she not no ugly old lady. But when back in the day, I seen some pictures of her with like her family was like the whole family is like that. The whole family is like really pretty because she was standing, I think, next to her cousin in a bathing suit. They were young. It looked like they was in their 20s or something like that. And both of them were very pretty. So, okay. So sometimes you have families like that where all the women are really pretty in that family. And typically, they live their life with pretty privilege. All the men want them. They usually can get the pick of the litter. And if they're really pretty and if they really keep themselves up, they can extend that time, right? Usually women, that kind of fades out in like their 30s. But if you look a certain way and you keep yourself up a certain way, then you can extend that time and men will still want you. Okay, cool. But Tina is the type that she doesn't know she's 71. Tina don't know she old. She one of them. She one of the chicks that was real pretty she doesn't know she's old now. You are old pretty. You pretty for your age at this point. You not just fine. You know what I'm saying? Just anybody's fine. You're pretty now for your age. The money that Beyonce has made and things of that nature, and that she's unsupported her mom and all of that. And the money that they made when Beyonce was younger and they were managing her and blah, 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 has kept her up. She's been able to keep up with the makeup and the clothes and, and the glamour and all of that. She's been able to keep that up. So she hasn't had to sacrifice, along with her age, her ability to, put on some flashy clothes and get her hair done and get her, makeup done and all of these sorts of things. She hasn't had to give that up like as a woman. And so because she has had the luxury of maintaining a wealthy lifestyle, this is what's aiding and abetting her not knowing she old. She, in her mind, she's that 20-some-year-old that 30-something year old, however old she was when she married Beyonce's dad. And all of that. She's still that woman. In her mind, she's still the woman that all the dudes be chasing and everybody's running up behind her and, ooh, you so fine, can I get a piece of the... She thinks she's still that woman. Who gonna tell her? Who gonna tell her that she really needs to go sit down? Because you somewhere trying to still go on tour with your daughter and girl. Some of them tour dates I wouldn't be on. She's somewhere gotta take a nap. Because old is old. I don't care what you look like or what you try to do or how much you try to keep yourself together. 71 is old. Okay, it's old. And you trying to go to sleep. The knees is hurting, and all that kind of stuff. You can only stand up so long in them heels and stuff like that, girl. Them bunions is hurting. Ain't nobody got time to stay up all night at that concert. She slept all day so she can have the energy to stay up all night and sing them songs in the crowd and stuff like that. So you old, ma'am. How you don't woke up one day at this big age and looked at your husband and said you deserve more? Let's talk about deserve more. What deserve what? What's more? What's more? See, these chicks, she too old for that. And this is what I be talking about. This is why I keep saying she thinks she the 20-something year old. Because why at 71 have you not gained any more wisdom? You done wrote a book with this foolishness in it. This is the foolishness that people can expect a elderly woman to have written. You don't live the life that most women don't live. A lot of people don't live. You done been places, seen things and things like that in a unique position. So you don't have any more wisdom. As a, what they call that, a septuagenarian. You don't have any, you've been living in this world 7 decades and you don't have more wisdom to share in this world than you deserve more. That's what you write? Some stuff that a 20-something year old write on Twitter. She left her little boyfriend because she just deserved more. He ain't got no money and da 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 da. That's what she thinks. She don't even know what more is. She just wants something else. She don't know what it is. She's silly and goofy and making goofy decisions based off of whatever. You old, ma'am. This is no wonder Beyonce said that when she got with Jay-Z, he had to teach her how to be a woman. He had to get a lot of that hyena up out of her. He had to get a lot of that up out of her. A lot of her mammy's teachings. He had to get that up out of her. He caught her young enough for it too. He caught her young enough for it because Beyonce wasn't no more than about 17 or so when she got interested in him, like 16, 17 years old. Jay was grown. Now, he didn't marry her until, years ago before they had them children. But you got to think it probably was strategic on other fronts to marry her at a particular time. But also, I'm not going to tolerate certain things out of you just because you Beyonce and you fine and you this and you that. I done had them fine. I done had that. Listen, the family be all over the foolish man. Remember when Solange jumped them in that elevator? So she come from a camp of hyenas. I'm pretty sure she's a hyena herself. Beyonce do not strike me as a lioness. She strike me as she's a hyena to know how to keep her mouth shut because she know how to try to keep her bag going. She just realized that I can't be getting out here doing certain antics because I have an image and that image pays my bills. So I'm not going to go out here and just be foolish. It's not out of the ordinary for a lioness to come out of a tribe of hyenas. That's because that's usually where lionesses come from. But I'm just saying she don't necessarily strike me as the lioness. Although She did wait to get married to have them kids and all of that, but that would have been, I think that's more strategic than anything. But enough for her. Getting back to her mama. This is the foolishness. So what have you, that's what started me on that tangent. What have you imparted to your daughters? Because Solange can't keep a man for nothing. And they pretty girls. Not a ugly girl among them. But what do they know? What do they know about interpersonal relationships, how to connect with people, how to really talk to people? Tina looked like she don't know how to talk to nobody. She's one of them girls that was fine enough to get away with her smart mouth. And men didn't never check her because they wanted her. They wouldn't check her because they wanted her. So she would get away with all that smart talking and all that flip talking and all of that, sassy, and she this and she that, and she gonna tell you, and you know what I'm saying. And dudes, all her life, dudes did not check her. They wouldn't check her because they want access to her. They in love with her. She pretty. They don't. They maybe feel like they hit the jackpot. Look, I got a baddie. So before baddies was a thing. You know what I'm saying? I got a bad one. This, that, and the third. And I just feel like the men wouldn't check her, especially the ones that didn't marry her. They wouldn't check her. So she thought, this is how I'm supposed to act with men, and men are going to put up with it because they want me. So I don't have to have good character with them. I don't have to have good behavior with them. I can say what I want. I can say it how I want to say it. I can get off, get crazy with them, because she was doing that with Richard Lawson. I covered that when she did that interview, and she was talking about how he wasn't the one and this and that. She was just talking crazy. That man was sitting right there. That man was sitting right there. So in his face, she was talking crazy. I knew it was over there. And sure enough, they got divorced not that long after that interview. Because at that age still, she thought, I can say this and say that. She's still moving like a 20-something-year-old. Still moving like, you know what I'm saying? She a teenager back in the day, and the dudes is on her jock, and she ain't got to conform. She ain't got to do nothing one of the Negroes is talking about, because she could just get another Negro because they lined up. She's still on that. It's not like that anymore. Okay? She married Michael, which is Beyonce's father. Kept the last name because now the last name has value. So when she divorced him, she didn't drop the Knowles, kept that. Been clout chasing behind her daughter the whole time. Right? When it was really Michael's work, was it not? That made sure that Destiny Child made it. That made sure Beyonce made it. While she was teaching Beyonce all that foolishness about how to be this ratchet hyena female and how to run these dudes because you fine. I don't think all of it took because Beyonce had a daddy that was with her all the time. So I think some of his teachings might have rubbed off on her as well. Right? Just my speculation. But this is the foolishness that you write. This is what I keep going back to, what you might have taught Beyonce, because you're her mother and you keep talking like this. Because even if Beyonce felt a type of way, she got sense enough to shut up. You running your mouth. That's another problem. And I'm a little bit all over the place, but follow me. Michael, that's probably why they divorced in reality. Michael kept having to check her over and over. It's not a this what we're doing with Beyonce is not about you. Quit trying to insert yourself. Yeah, you her mom and this and that. That's fine. But this is not about you. We're trying to build her and a career and a legacy and da 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 da. Not you. You can't sing. You can't sing. You ain't got not one talent to speak of. Okay? Sit down, girl. And she ain't like all that. Cause he probably was the first dude to actually like check her for real. That's probably why she went with him and married him, because he was the one out of many that was like, I don't care about how fine you is. Yeah, you are, but you not gonna get over here and talk to me like you done lost your mind. And he had control over the situation as the Beyonce's popularity grew, as there was more money coming in, as there was more hits, as there was more, you know what I'm saying? He was like maneuvering her through the industry and things of that nature. Imagine what Beyonce would have become without Michael and with just Tina to guide her through the industry. Come on. She'd have had her out here. She wouldn't have been as successful. She wouldn't have been as successful. She wouldn't have been. She would have been in scandals and all this other kind of stuff. Her hyena mama doing interviews and whatnot. Them contracts would have been bad. You know what I'm saying? All of that. Wouldn't have got the money that she was supposed to get and whatever else. You could just it would have been just a mess. It would have been a mess. And we know it. Because you're 71. The reason I know all of this is because you're 71 and you wrote a book, and there's a passage in the book talking about you divorced your latest husband because you woke up one day. How stupid does this sound? You woke up one day and realized you deserved so much more. Couldn't define more at gunpoint, I bet you. Could not define what more means at gunpoint. What do you think that you deserve? What do you think you deserve? You don't need no man to take you nowhere. You done been, because of your daughter and your previous marriage, you done been all over the world. You done seen this stuff. What are you saying? You don't need to do like these young girls be talking about, I want to travel, I want to do. You old. It's time for you to sit down. It's time for you to sit down. And that's what she don't want to do. Richard was making her sit down. We old, ma'am. We may look good for our ages and we move good for our age and stuff like that. Not trying to take that away, but at the same time, baby, we the type of people want to take a nap. We want to take a nap, and we booked and busy. You know, he gets his acting roles and this and that. She the one ain't really got nothing to do but try to live vicariously through Beyonce. Let's be real. Because after all this, she still ain't found no talent that she can have, that she can do on her own. She can't act, she can't sing, she can't dance, she can't entertain. And by the passage, she can't write either with this book. So all that she has ever had was her face card. And she has lived on it. And it has served her for her purposes, for the life that she has wanted to live. Her face card served her for that. It's time to let it go. It's time to settle down and let it go. She don't want to settle down. You old. You got one foot in the grave and one on a banana peel. What is you talking about? Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, is the Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.